I guess on my hair, she looked alright, and with that actually sitting there like this creams, and I had to have them, sis. All 5 of them. Here, I just had, we're gonna discontinue it, but I had to pick up their Book of Shadows, honey. Color grade makes cheap fan, expensive breeze, good times. Wow, so serious. This is something I've always wanted to do, but unfortunately I did not get it out in time. And I want to tell you a story just because the next video I'm going to be recording is going to be like this. It's going to be talking about my mini book bag collection. More than likely that'll be up before this one. But I was inspired by Sophia from the Golden Girls, the bag I was just holding up, to tell you all the story. Picture it. YouTube, May 2019. A beautiful and amazingly talented artist is uploading a video called If I Can Only Keep One Brush Edition. She goes on to talk about all of her favorite brushes, and if she had to get rid of her collection and only keep one, which one would it be? As she goes on about the foundation brush, the powder brush and everything, a young peasant boy from Michigan decides to go into the comment section and asks, "What is that on your eyes? Please tell me that there is a tutorial." As he's going through those comments, he notices everyone else wants to know the same thing. Unfortunately, the artist lets everyone know, although the look is beautiful and although she has everything, some of those items have been discontinued. She comes back at a later time, uploads a tutorial, and shows everyone exactly how to recreate the look, but it's slightly different. She's changed up some of the colors, and this new look is now much more pinky red based instead of orange based. Although that young peasant boy thinks that the recreation is nice, he really wants to know about that original orange look, because as someone who hated oranges, he never thought that he would want to do such a thing. So, he asked that artist exactly what it was going on and what products that she used. In her tutorial, she lets him know of all the products, and except one product could not be purchased because it was limited edition and discontinued. That beautiful, amazing, talented artist was Mel Thompson, and this was the look that she did there. That peasant boy from Michigan happens to be myself. I am someone who started doing YouTube. I don't even believe I've been here a full 2 years ago, but this year in April, I had finally decided, Torrence, this is going to be your year. You're going to go over the top with everything. You're going to do more with your YouTube. You're going to experiment more with your makeup. You're going to experiment more with your hair and your clothes. I gathered all of the things that I needed and realized I did not have that neo orange pigment. So fortunately, with me having many friends who still work in the industry, I was able to reach out and contact a few people and found the pigment. And I did not want to just go ahead and pick it up. I told the person, send it to me through the mail. If you sell it to me online, not only can I get it, but I can also give you a 5-star rating on your page. That way it helps boost your sales and your rating, as well as get me the product that I wanted. I can show you, I have that email right here in April. I was going to get everything going, and I realized, Torrence, she did that video in 2019. If you do it in 2021, it'll give you a 2-year mark to be able to say, okay, this recreated on the anniversary of. But unfortunately, if you all know, in May of 2021 this year, I ended up breaking my leg and canceled everything for the summer. The only one thing I was able to pull off was getting my hair done. I managed to get my very first wig, and I have been experimenting with my hair, but I never got the chance to do the things that I wanted to do this summer, and one of those looks was recreating this look for Mel Thompson. I am someone who just genuinely do not like, well, I'm going to say I got to the point where I just don't hate them anymore. But orange eyeshadows just never did them for me. And this was one of those looks that Mel Thompson did that I was in love with from the very beginning. The first day I saw it, it became my favorite. And to this day, I've never seen her do a much more beautiful look. And so for Thanksgiving this year, I wanted to be able to let the world know that if nothing else with YouTube, I am thankful for the support and the inspiration, and the support that my subscribers give me is amazing. And when I think of how many subscribers Mel Thompson had, I can only, get emotional in thinking about the fact of how many more likes she would get, how many more words of encouragement she would get. And unfortunately, the beauty community no longer has one of its brightest shining stars with us. But I wanted to show Mel Thompson, her family, her friends, that her work, her love, her dedication will not be in vain. She will never be forgotten. And I am someone who was truly inspired by the work that she has done. And so for Thanksgiving, I wanted to recreate this look finally. It really did hurt to know that I did not get it up in time because she has passed already. But with many artists, we put our heart and soul into our work, and to know that it will continue to inspire others is usually a heartfelt and very important and beautiful thing to do. So for today, I want to go ahead and I went back to that video. I looked up all the items and I tried to tell myself, Torrence, if you have it, you can use it and you can recreate it. But if you don't have everything, there's no need to not push this video out any longer. I'm someone who doesn't have a Tom Ford eyeliner. Okay, use a different eyeliner. I'm someone who didn't have the Kiss Ritzy lashes. Okay, use some other lashes. But please get this out while it's still on your mind, while it's still on your heart. And I've been ranting long enough, but I really just wanted to get that off my chest and get that out to the world. So please, please, please just bear with me throughout this tutorial. There's going to be plenty of times where, like I said, my words are slurring, my eyes are tearing up, but I tried to hold everything back to get this video up and recorded. And now that I have, I just want to say before we get started, I hope you all have a very blessed and happy Thanksgiving. But before I get any more emotional than I already have, I hope you all truly enjoyed this tutorial, and let's go ahead and get started. Alright you guys, it's time to get into things. As with all tutorials, any and all tools and products used today will be in the description bar below in case you want to help recreate this look. But we're going to go ahead, get into things, because I'm telling you all, I have wanted to do this look for so long, and I'm finally sitting down and getting it out. So once again, I'm not as beautiful or as talented as Mel, so I'm doing my best to recreate and be inspired by her look. We're not trying to get a dead on exact look going, but enough talking, let's go ahead. We're going to start things off using the Sassy Siennas palette. Baby man looking, ooh, she's looking real rough with the fingerprints on here. They have since reformulated this palette, but this is the original one that I have. And we're going to use our transition shade here. It's going to be this very first shade, Stay Sassy. We're going to use this with our largest, fluffiest blending brush as a transition shade throughout our entire crease. I went ahead and knocked some of the excess product off because I want to make sure I have a nice seamless blend. We can always come back in and add more. And I know Dose of Color does not play with the pigmentation. So we're just going to go in, starting off low into the crease. And we're just going to buff her up and out. And look at how fabulous that color is. I'm loving how that's matching this shirt today, because the orange shirt I really wanted to wear today, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I cannot find it to save my life. I'm like, what is this we have going on here? I'm trying to see if I'm getting more pigmentation toward the front than I am the back, or is that just my brush? Because it was smashing in between all of these here. Go in with one more layer. Baby, look at how the blend on this comes off. I absolutely love Dose of Color shadows, and I'm telling you all, if you all ever wanted any Dose of Color product, every year they do a half off sale, and usually it's on everything on the website. And that's how I managed to get each and every palette they've ever released. And look at her, honey. I am loving this. This is what I'm talking about. When I say I like bold, vivid, vibrant colors, even if I'm doing a neutral color, honey, I blend my transition shade all the way up and out. I can tell I'm nervous today. I need to calm down. Torrence, we're gonna get it out. I'll be right back after I do this on the other side. And now it's time to fill in our crease. This part here was, to me, the most important part of this eye look, because it was the only item in this look that isn't for sale right now. MAC discontinued this a long time ago, but thanks to the inspiration from Mel, it was the reason why I decided to reach out to as many friends as I possibly could and try to get it. I've been on the hunt for this pigment for at least over a year. And when I finally found a friend who had it, I really had to reach out to them, make sure they sent it to me, and we have it now. So the thing is, this color is called Neo Orange, and Mel Thompson let it be known even before I went and purchased it. This pigment was extremely difficult to work with, and 9 times out of 10, a pigment is going to be much harder to use than, say, a normal eyeshadow. But because this shadow has to be several years old because it's been discontinued for several years, it may be that much harder to blend out. But you know what? For Mel Thompson, we're willing to take that risk. So what I want to do is, I don't like double dipping into my containers because this has a ton of product. And I put some right here on just a metal tray, and I'll dip into this instead of double dipping into my jar. And to make sure I don't knock that jar over or anything, I'm about to put this top right back on there. I'm going to take that pigment, load it up on a smaller blending brush, and we're going to blend this out throughout our entire crease. The one thing we have to take into consideration is that this pigment may be extremely hard to build and or blend. And so I'm going to load my brush up first, just on all sides, and tap off all excess, just to make sure I reduce my chance of creating a harsh line. Alright, so we're going to start this off low into the crease. If it takes too much time to go ahead and build and blend, we're going to go ahead and just skip through it. But, you know, I like to let y'all see exactly how things work out. So we're going to start on the outer end, and we're going to go in really slow and see what kind of vibrancy she going to give me. And off rip, she looks very beautiful, but I'm wondering how much of that color going to stick once I start blending throughout the crease. Yep, yep, yep. And for this color to be called Neo Orange, she's not quite what she's given in the container I was hoping for. So I am definitely going to go in with one additional layer. Try to keep this low into the crease before I decide to lift my brush and diffuse those edges. But just off that one layer, I want to see what she's giving. Yeah. You definitely gonna have to go in and do more than one layer of this, because it looks almost as if that color blended into our transition shade, and we need a little more pop than that. So we're gonna keep going. Alrighty. She's starting to, I would say, technically she's building, but she's still not giving me full opacity. So I'm going to see if one more time if we can just go in and just press her in and see what she do that way. Oh yeah, honey. I see when Mel did the recreation of this look, she used a whole nother color, because baby, this is a pain to work with. But for Mel, we going to make her work. She ain't got no choice but to go on today. And I want to just go back in and see what she's giving in the crease. And yeah, since we could have did without her. But this is the shade Mel used, so it's the one we're going to use. And I'll be right back after I do this on the other side. Okay, you guys, we're back. And as you can see, the fallout on both sides, front and back on both sides of the eye, is real with this shade. I'm seeing exactly why MAC don't sell this no more, because I don't think she would probably be a bestseller. I think when they first dropped her, people saw the color and was like, got to have some of that. I see exactly why when Mel recreated this look, she used a whole nother item so that when you all tried to redo it, it would come out beautiful. The one thing I will say is, as you let it sit, the color does seem to go in and look a little more blended than it did beforehand. Because like this side has had more time to sit than this side. So to me, I really feel as if the crease looks a tad bit darker than that transition shade now that it's set. But you don't need this neon orange, honey. Don't do that. But it's time to continue on. Now for our lids, we want to go back into the Sassy Siennas palette. She used this second shade here, Brassy. She took it and placed it over the entire lid and then blend out the edges with a very small crease brush. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do before we go into the glitter. I'm going to take my favorite shader brush and we're just going to pack this all over the lid. What this is going to do is give us a little more depth and give us a little color to peek through when we put our glitter on top. And I'm telling you all, this may come off a lot easier if you do it exactly the way Mel did, where she starts from the lid and works her way up with her transition colors. The thing is, I find that method a little more difficult. And because I have hooded eyes, I find just blending from the lightest shade on down to the lashes is just a little easier for me. I like to work light to dark. Working the other way around just seems to be a little more pressure on me and my skills. I'm trying to make sure right here by the lashes is covered. And you can see how, honestly, I think if I were to go ahead and just clean this up, this could just be a one color eyeshadow look. It will look like one color even though we're working with three. But I have this here, and what I want to do is just take the same brush and just push it around the edges just to diffuse that. We don't want a harsh line in our crease. And if for any reason you notice, okay, I diffused a little too much and now I don't have the pigment I once had, you can always come back in and then just press it back on those areas. I just like everything to be nice and seamless. And we have it like this. And to me, I'm not sure if it's picking up on camera, but you can truly see that the lid is a little darker and much more orange based than the transition area that we have there. All right, you guys, I have both eyes set, and I think, as you can see, with time passing and it gets a little more time to go through and actually fuse to the lids, you can see that lid looks way more orange instead of that peachy outline that we have going on. The thing is, you all know, for me to give orange props, it has to be beautiful, because oranges and blues are just the colors that don't do it for me. But this is easily my favorite look that Mel has ever done. And she topped things off with this glitter here from Eye Candy. It's called Peach Fizz. I had already had this glitter, already had the Sassy Siennas palette when I wanted to recreate this look. So to realize I only needed Neo Orange to complete it, I had to go out and grab it. The thing is, I am someone, I want to put this down because baby, I know glitter gonna get to flying. I am someone who tends to prefer to go in and use the NYX glitter adhesive. Just put that on the lids and then take a silicone applicator and place it on top. But Mel used the Anastasia glitter adhesive, which is a liquid, and she dipped into it and spread it on top. That way the base color underneath isn't covered. With my method, I usually just put the glitter glue down and then put those glitters on top, and it usually doesn't allow that color underneath to shine through. And we want this to shine through today. So what I'm going to do is be very, very careful. Remember, I am not the biggest fan of double dipping, so I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of this glitter right here. I can always come back and add a little more if need be. And I want to close this, because if I accidentally spill or knock this over, it is not going to be pretty. And I'm going to take a little bit of this, and we're going to just drop this directly onto the tray. It comes with like a small nail polish looking container, and I'm going to drop that right on top of the glitter. I can mix it once I get over here, but I don't want to actually press this down because I don't want to risk getting glue. Come on and fall. Not glue. I don't want to risk getting glitter into my bottle. And I'm just gonna find an angled eyeliner brush just because I find those easiest to get things on the lid. And what we're gonna do is just coat our brush in the Anastasia adhesive and then just dip right into this glitter. Actually, because I'm being lazy, I'm gonna go ahead and just mix them and create a paste. And what I'm gonna do is, once this is just completely covered, we're just gonna go right over things. This is the, which one? The Ulta 122 brush, the It for Ulta angled liner. And we're just gonna take this and slide right across this. Do you see how shiny and beautiful that is, sis? Oh my graciousness. And I wouldn't necessarily worry about making sure you have a complete opaque layer of glue or glitter, because you can always come back and add a few more bits of glitter later. I would be more concerned about just getting the adhesive to cover the entire lids, because that'll be the easy part. And I always make sure I get down close to the lash line because I will forget and then it'll be a gap between my lashes and where that glitter gel is. I'm going to come straight up here all the way up to the crease. Alrighty, now that I have that there, any spot that I notice that does not have any glitter, I can just take my silicone applicator and dip right into some plain glitter. I do have this gel that's still here because I can always go back in and scoop some more for the other eye, but I want to add just a little bit of loose glitter on top of this for a little more extra shine. So I have my silicone applicator here covered on one side, and we're just going to go in and press that right on top. This is going to make that stick and shine just a little bit more. And what I'm aiming for is those areas that seem to not have as much glitter as others. If you start there first, it'll make it easier to build up to the intensity you want. Don't start where you see that there's already a lot of glitter, because then you got to go in and make bald spots look just as vibrant. Tap, tap, tap. Look at that, sis. I promise you, I may have to come even a little closer so you all can see this like up close, because I don't think my camera is giving her justice. Boom, boom. Be right back after I do this on the other side. Honey, I'm not gonna lie. Getting this together took a little energy and effort. I've been nervous, I've been mumbling, and I've been working a little bit slower than I normally would. But as you can see, things have been pulled together. So what I'm going to do is cut away, finish off the face, and when I come back, I'm going to show you how we're going to finish off the lower lash line and complete this beautiful look. Sis, look at... Oh my goodness, honey. I did not expect this to turn out this pretty. Remember, in the beginning, we was having some struggling with our crease shades, but I finally, did the face, put on some lashes, because although Mel Thompson wore lashes and eyeliner, I'm not the biggest fan of wing liner, and I wanted to try to keep this true to myself. So I'm going to show you off camera all the items that I did use. Remember, all tools and products will be in the description bar below in case you do miss anything. But we're going to start off with cheeks. Went in with my favorite blush of all time, Juvia's Place Serafina. She's a nice peachy pink shade, and I'm like, Torrence, today, that's what we're going for. We're going for the oranges, we're going for the peaches, we're going for the pinks to make sure this looks nice. Look at that cheek. Nice smooth little sculpted cheekbone, because baby, I carved it out today. Wanted to also make sure, because you can see that glow is popping. She is popping. Pulled out my favorite highlighter of all time, MAC Cosmetics Oh Darling. I wanted something a little more peachy pink, and I know they have things like show gold and things like that, but I'm like, no, Torrence. I need to make sure my beam is on point. We're not sure how these eyes gonna turn out, so we got to make sure all other areas are items you love, trust, and use on the regular. I don't know about no highlighter more than I know about this one. She is that girl. My beam is not playing with you, and I'm loving her. For lips, once again, I'm like, Torrence, we want to try to, keep things that you like it. Mel, I believe, wore a lipstick in that video, and I'm like, I'm a liner gloss type of girl, so we tried to stick to that. My favorite lip liner is probably the Lip Bar's Straight Living, but I needed something a little lighter today. I didn't want it to compete with the eyes, so we're going with the Lip Bar Straight Up liner. Have this on top and bottom. You can see, baby, them lips is looking nice, full, and beautiful, but I'm like, just liner ain't enough. I need a nice, beautiful, peachy gloss, and y'all know recently I tried out the Lunar Beauty Gloss in Dreamy. Fabulous. This compact, I absolutely love this color. She's nice and beautiful. You can see that little peach color in there. I'm like, she go with the shirt, honey. Let's keep it moving. I'll put that on top. For eyes, this is where things get fun, because once again, I'm not the biggest fan of wing liner. So I'm like, Torrence, you still want to do something that's going to bring a little more drama. You don't want to do just regular mascara, even though I have long lashes. I figured a pair of strip lashes will help give me that extra oomph to bring some more life to this look. And so for the lower lash line, I'm wearing my Urban Decay 24 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Lucky. I honestly did not even order this one. I ordered 4 other ones, and which one did I want? Let me see. I believe the color I was trying to purchase was this one here, Loaded. Loaded is a green color, but they accidentally sent Lucky. I informed them about it. They instantly, let me know they'll replace it. So they sent Loaded, but told me I can keep Lucky. And I'm like, never tried it before. Might as well go ahead and see what she looked like with this look. And she's beautiful, so I'm not upset at her. Personally, I would have probably preferred to use it with a much more neutral brown look to help make her pop here. But I'm like, I didn't want to do black. I did not want to close off my eyes. I wanted things to be bright, vivid, and open. And before I went in with strip lashes, I went in with mascara. Fenty Beauty. Love this mascara. I think out of every tube of mascara that I have in my collection, physically, this is the actual biggest tube. But I just love the fact that it gives you a wand that you can either use this way or you could turn it and make it much thinner and use it that way, especially on the lower lash line. I tend to find that this is absolutely beautiful, but like I said, I wanted something a little bit more than just mascara. So after I put that on, I went in with my Eye Shine Lash Connoisseur. Y'all know it's not too often that I wear lashes, but if any reason I do, usually Eye Shine, Ardell, Kiss, they make some beautiful lashes. In Mel's video, I believe she wore the Kiss Ritzy lashes. And my favorite from Kiss, I don't have Ritzy, I had my Jubilees. Let me see. These are my favorite, the Jubilees. But I'm like, Torrence, these are a little small. They ain't going to give you that drama you want. Look at these Eye Shine Lash Connoisseurs, honey. They are big, they are spiky, they are full. But because I have full, features, I have really large eyes, they aren't as big and as dramatic as I thought they would. But that spikiness there, baby, it lets you know we came to be seen. This look is fabulous, and I am just feeling so soft, so feminine, so beautiful. All the other complexion products, my powders, contours, are things that I normally use, but you can check the description bar on that. The thing is, we are not through, honey. Lower lash line, still got to hook her up. So let me go ahead and grab these brushes. We are going to go back into our Sassy Siennas palette, and to smoke out our lower lash line, we're going to go right back into this shade here. I believe this was the shade Brassy, and we're going to use this with our largest pencil brush, and we're just going to smoke that out on the lower lash line. And just to make sure we don't make a mess, we're going to tap that off because we can always come back in for more. And I'm going to start on the outer half, and I just want to use this to connect those colors. I want some vibrancy on my lower lash line just so you can see that these colors go together. Go in and do one more layer, and my brush surely just slipped and I hit the wrong spot. Take your time when you're doing this, honey. It is not a race. Okay, yes, ma'am. Gonna buff and blend her out. And now that I ain't scared, I can really pack her on like this in this front area. Because I have really large eyes, I usually like to start on the outer end where I want things to be darker. And once I have my blend where I want it, I can always go back in and start from the front end. But I personally would never recommend starting from the front in case you make a mistake. But now that we got more smokiness and I can see that little peachy color peeking through on this side, be right back after we do it on the other side. Now that we've smoked out our lower lash line, I want to take a little bit of that glitter that we have on the top and do the same thing on the bottom near the center. I believe Mel went all the way across, but what I want to do is just start right here in the center, try that out, and if it still looks pretty, then I'll drag it out further. But normally I like to keep things as close as possible right there just to help emphasize that area. Once again, I have hooded eyes, so I'm always trying to do as much as I can to take emphasis away from the crease or deepen it up. But let's go ahead and get it. We're going to take our glitter adhesive, we're going to pick some back up, put that drop on here. Baby, we don't want to double dip, so we're going to put some of that glue down first. Take our brush. It still has some glitter on there, but I put a little more. I want to see if I can tilt this so you can see it. Yeah, you can see it's still a little more glitter left right here, and we're going to scoop that up first. Okay, you guys, now that I have my brush lit up, we're going to go ahead, put this right here in the center, and I want to try to get this as close to the lash line as I can possibly get it. And to me, I feel as if this may come off the same way the first side did, where I picked up a little bit of glitter, but then I felt as if to give me a little more pop into it, I wanted to go back over it and add a little more. Okay, I think on camera it may show a little bit, but she ain't popping the way she could, and I can tell that. So we're gonna go back over this with some more of that glitter just to make sure she lays down. So what I'm gonna do is just sprinkle some of this glitter on here. And now we're just gonna take whatever, adhesive is left on the brush, and we're just gonna dip our brush right into that dry product. And this time we're just gonna press it up against the lower lash line to really catch that color. And doing it this way, you may get some glitter fallout, so be prepared for that. But because I know this glitter is gonna shine that much more, she's worth the energy and effort. And honey, the one thing I have noticed is that some of that didn't get into my lashes, and truth be told, up close, she look a lot prettier than what I thought she would. So you know what? We're not even gonna be mad. We're just gonna keep it going. And now for my favorite part of eyeshadow, highlighting my inner corner and my brows. To do that, I'm gonna pull out a very sentimental palette to me. This is the Goss Tourmaline palette. It's a very beautiful story on how I managed to get this and now how I love and trust Beautylish even more. I'm gonna explain that later when I do a tutorial on this palette. But if you all know, this was the very last review or tutorial that Mel put up. So we're going to take shade number 1 here. This shade has the most pink tone to it. So we're going to use this to highlight our inner corner and our brows. I'm going to take this color here and we're going to press that right near inner corner. I want to make sure that color stands out. And this is a satin shade, so you're not going to get the most metallic foil, but it's the color that I'm looking for. You can see right there, that color stands out a lot brighter than no color here. And I want to go in and get me just a little bit more to connect those, because I have hooded eyes and big features and I need to make sure that stands out. Come through. Okay, yeah, I can see that a lot better. So we'll be right back. And even though this is a satin shade, I always like to go under my brows very slowly and carefully, because this color is lighter than my complexion. So it doesn't take much, as you can see, to get that popping. Look at this brow compared to the color on that one, baby. Okay, honey, we are almost through with everything. The only thing left to do is set it. And I'm telling you, the one thing I wish you all could see was just how vibrant this glitter is underneath the eyes. I'm slowly trying to tilt and get a good angle where you can see it, but I really don't think you will be able to. Hopefully, if I remember, I can come real close and make sure I give you a close-up view of things. But right now, it's time to lock this look in, so grab your sprays, because you know I'm about to grab mine. Fix Plus to give us a glowy do. All-nighter, so things last all day. Cheap Fan, Expensive Breeze, Good Times. I'm going to give this a few more seconds to dry, and I'll be back to show you all the final look. And this is the final look. I'm going to go ahead, give you all a full face view of things before I give you all my final thoughts. And I'm telling you, honey, I am so happy I finally did this look. This here is so vibrant, it's so pretty, it's over the top, and it's so me. As someone who's only been doing YouTube for less than 2 years, there are many people on the platform that I've watched before I got started with my channel, and Mel Thompson was one of those people who, when I looked, you just saw a genuine love for the art of makeup. You can tell she wasn't someone who was just doing this for the money or trying to do it for the clout or anything like that. It was just a passion for the art and just wants to genuinely share her love and her talent with the world. And so every time someone asks me, Torrence, could you do a review of the Tiny Marvels palette? It's not that I was completely against doing it. It was just that I've had dreams of doing this look, especially in a tutorial, for so long that in a way, I sort of felt guilty if I like went ahead and did the Tiny Marvels palette first, knowing that personally it's not my color story. I have the palette right here. If you all would like to see a tutorial with it, I have no problems with getting that up for you. But when I just say, Torrence, be honest with yourself. When I look at this color story, greens are my absolute favorites. And to only see one matte green here and to see that it is a much lighter color and not a deep forest green was one of those things that made me go like, Then you got that bright yellow gold and I'm like, yellow golds look like jaundice on my eyes. And I'm like, okay, where's your matte blacks? Where's your dark purples, your jewel tone? Everything in here is a much lighter color story than what I personally would wear. But the one thing Mel has taught me is that Torrence, sometimes stepping out of the box can be very beautiful. Because before I got on YouTube, I used to always tell you, I don't wear oranges, I don't wear blues, I don't like them. But because of your love, your support, and you all pushing me to step out of the box, some of my most beautiful looks have come out being orange and blue. When I think of this orange look here, that's something I never would have tried unless you all told me to do so, because I had that orange liquid lipstick sitting on the shelf and hadn't tried it. That video was the very first time using it. Also, this blue look here with Juvia's Place. Although I always loved the brand, blues were something I avoided, but once I did that look, you all fell in love with it. And this look here was something that Mel Thompson did that made me go, oh my goodness. I don't like those tones and those hues on my complexion, but you've done such a beautiful job with it, I have to do it. So for me, I wanted to make sure if I were to do a video dedicated to Mel Thompson, my very first video would be this look, because I feel as if this is something that I personally love, something I wanted to recreate, and something that I felt as if I was doing from the heart and something that was genuine, not just something to please others. I'm looking down at the mess that I've made and I'm like, Torrence, this is worth it. Being able to say, you can support those that you were influenced by, you can do something that's positive, and you can spark inspiration, for others, because inspiration was sparked for me. I would have never did this look unless Mel Thompson had done it first. This palette, I have every palette from Dose of Colors, and I think I may have used this maybe 3 times since it's come out. And they reformulated the packaging last year, so shows you how often I use those. This MAC Neopigment, I would never recommend it to nobody else to put all that energy and effort into it, but because Mel told me it's going to take some elbow grease, I was prepared for it, and to me, honestly, she's worth it. I wouldn't recommend it to nobody because I'm like, you don't need that kind of energy to do it, but to have it here, I'm never going to give it up. Y'all know I love my Lit Cosmetic glitters, but this Eye Candy and Peach Fizz, look at the color on that, and I don't even think you all can tell. In person, I believe it has a slight yellow to green gold shift to it. And it's just like, she's fabulous. Everything about this look looks amazing. And I just want to say, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Each and everyone that watches this video, I hope you truly do enjoy it. I hope, like myself, you are inspired to want to step outside of your box. If for any reason you all have not checked out Mel Thompson's video and her channel, please do so now. I'll make sure I leave a link to her video up here as well as in the description bar. And I also want to say I'm sending love and prayers to everyone in her family, her husband, her 3 daughters, her best friend Kelsey. As you all know, I love YouTube, and my favorite channel on YouTube, my favorite influencer is Kelsey Brianna J. Teresa is dead and Nikki Tutorials, y'all number 2 and number 3, but Kelsey is Kelsey Brianna Bay, honey. That's what I like to call her, because I am a Kel-Bell. And I just really wanted to put out there to the world that this year I am really thankful for inspiration. Anytime I do my makeup, I love to let my imagination just go and play. And because Mel posted this look but did not give us the actual details on which steps to take, I love the fact that I was able to go use those same items, take time to practice and play with them, and then finally come to you all with this look here. And I'm absolutely loving it. I'm getting sort of nervous and I'm getting lost words because right now I don't want to get emotional and tear up, but I just want to say thank you all. This has been an amazing year, and although I was not able to pull this look off for the summer or even in time for Mel to see it, it's nice to know that her family will see it and understand that Mel was truly loved, she was truly supported, and she'll never be forgotten. I, like many of her subscribers, still watch her channel to this day. Sometimes I go back and check out old videos to make sure that I've liked them. That's something you all can do to make sure you want to still support her channel because it is still up. It is not going down. And there's always inspiration out there, honey. This look here is just one of the many looks that you can go to Mel's channel and be inspired by. Alarm would go off in the middle of recording. But I've been talking for quite a while, and that alarm was to let me know how much time I had to get this video out. I'm recording this video on Sunday the 21st, but I'm going to try to post this up on Thanksgiving Day. I'm going to record another video to get this out before then, just to make sure you all want to see a video like this. I purposely held off on this video because I wanted to wait and make sure her family was okay with things. Many people have posted videos using the Tiny Marvels palette or just speaking about their experiences with Mel. I never knew her. I never got the chance to meet her. I'm just a subscriber who was hurt, you know, that the beauty community has lost one of its brightest stars. But I still have to do an intro and take pictures of this. So before I get all teary-eyed and things get watery, I want to go ahead and end this video here. Once again, love, prayers, and best wishes to Mel's family and to Kelsey Brianna J, to any and all brands that's ever supported Mel's channel or her career. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart and from her families. But with nothing else, I hope you all remember to practice, continue to stay blessed, and until next time, goodbye, YouTube.